Alright, so we've just registered. This is my little player pack. Pretty excited, all the ITC missions that we need. Dan and Kev are currently over there in the painting. You can see them, you can see Dan right there. Not quite sure on the location of Kevin. Sure, the small Scottish prick will show up sometime. But yeah, Jamie's just finding us some trays, but this is day one. I got a good shot of you sitting over on the table, and I just zoomed right in on your face from over here. Just cause.
Concentration.
Concentration as you're taking out all your models. You broke one? You were concentrating because you broke one? Oh, I've got, oh yeah, raffle ticket. Let's go. We choose which one it goes in. So, I'm here with Jamie right now, and we're at day one of Adapticon. Jamie? Adapticon. Las Vegas. Yeah. Last time I was in a hole this big. We're at LVO. How you feeling? You ready for round one?
Yeah, I'm actually pretty excited to play. We'll see what happens.
Pretty pumped? What did you bring today?
Many people.
You brought your...
I brought a Strike Force, or sorry, not a Strike Force, a Talon Strike Force. That's flipped them with a Hunter's Eye Ally.
Of course,
that's what I call it. And a pad with Lies Eye Stun. So basically, some Assault Centurions, some Grav Centurions, a bunch of Tacticals, and the Stormwing with his Storm Talon and Stormwing.
Cool. And how confident are you? Modest.
Could work well.
All right, we'll see after round one.
Okay.
All right, round one, Kevin Berry, LVO. How you feeling?
Tired.
Tired? Yeah, I think we're all feeling a little tired. Why don't you go through your list for us?
My list. All right, we have Admech War Convocation with the Flesh Tater Strike Force and an Assassin.
Okay.
That's basically it.
All right, so War Convocation with the Flesh Tear Strike Force, obviously for the 3 drop pods, and then a Calexis Assassin. How you feeling? Feeling confident?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. It should be fun.
Alrighty.
Should be fun.
All right, well we'll do a check-in after round one.
All right.
All right, Dan's ready.
Hi.
Round one, LVO 2016. He's not really ready. He's just saying he is. Why don't you do a little mention of your list, Dan?
This is my Ravenwing Sons of... What are they called again? Sons of Absolution.
Sons of Absolution, okay?
There's a bunch of Black Knights. There's some Thunderwolf characters. Void Shield, a Colossus in a pod. That's pretty much it. Yeah, these cool packs.
A lot of Void Shield generators here today.
That's very true.
And then there's another Calexis right there. I think I'm the only one that didn't bring a Calexis. Did you bring a Calexis?
I did not bring a
You didn't bring a Calexis? Okay, so never mind. We're swinging even. Alrighty. How you feeling? You feeling confident?
No.
No? Not confident at all? Dan's got a huge sense of dread going on. We'll come back after round one. This is the list. This is the list I have brought to LVO, ready for round one. You've probably seen a variant of it. Obviously, I've got all the Warp Spiders, I've got all the Jet Bikes as well. I've only got 3-man units this time. But I've also got my Autarch with a fusion gun, taking out the Farseers, and I've also put in 2 Crimson Hunters, 1 Exarch, 1 not Exarch, both the Bright Lancers, and then I've got my Sword Knight as opposed to the Cannon Knight. So, ready for round one. We'll come back, hopefully, if I can record the game. Hello and welcome to round one of LVO 2016. I am playing against Jessica and the fantastic Sparkle White Scars. Everything is done with glitter, and that fabulous motherfucker right there is Khan. So we've already deployed. Jessica's going first. We've done it's a null deploy. She's got 3 pods coming down turn 1. Mission is the Emperor's Will, so we've got mission objective in each deployment zone, as well as Maelstrom Objective 1. Maelstrom Objective 2 right there. So, Jessica's got some drop pods to come down, and we'll come back at the end of Space Marine turn 1. Okay, so end of Space Marine turn 1. She doesn't fucking scatter with her drop pods. Everything landed dead on. But with all the combined firepower over here, she only took out 1 jet bike, and nothing happened over here. So, the drop pods are in. It's now time for my turn 1, and we'll come back at the end of Eldar turn 1. Okay, so end of Eldar turn 1. We managed to take out the drop pod with scatter laser fire, but these Marines would not die. She did not fail a single armor save. Not as much could be said of the Marines over here. They all died to the scatter lasers, and then the drop pod died to the Wraith Knight. So currently I am 1-0 up, and we're about to see all of Jess's reserve come in. So, turn 2. Okay, so end of Space Marine turn 2. Everything came in except for the las cannon unit, the grav unit, and a Razorback, but everything else is on. So as you can see, we've got the bikes coming up the side with the Razorback. The drop pods again did not scatter, dead onto the objective. She didn't even have the servo skulls to help her. She just is really good at not missing. This unit came in, tried firing at the Wraith Knight, nothing happened there, but they've got some reinforcements right behind there as well. So I've got my reserve rolls to make, and we'll come back at the end of Eldar turn 2. Okay, so end of Eldar turn 2. A lot of my Warp Spiders came in, managed to take out a drop pod, and a couple of Marines here and there. Took out another drop pod in close combat just there with the Wraith Knight. Crimson Hunter was unable to take down one of the Storm Talons. This Crimson Hunter was unable to take out the Razorback, but we've got a lot of units on the field right now, so I managed to score both of my points, and I managed to stop Jessica from taking both of her points. So we'll roll for new missions, and we'll come back at the end of Space Marine turn 3. Okay, so end of Space Marine turn 3. We filed in here and tried to kill this jet bike. I still have to do a leadership check on him. So leadership check on the one jet bike passes. He's really, really brave. Flicker jumped out of the way there as well. These guys came in and annihilated the 3 jet bike models that were right there. And then over here, oh, I have to take a leadership check on those bikes as well. 7, and they're good as well. So, I've still got some reserves to come in. We'll come back at the end of Eldar turn 3. Okay, so end of Eldar turn 3. I took out the 1 Storm Talon and put the Storm Raven down to 1 wound. These bikes fell to Death Spinner fire, a lot of firing going on around town. The other bikes were also taken out by the Wraith Knight over there. So yeah, we still got a lot of units on the field. Some pink still remains, so we will come back at the end of Space Marine turn 4. Okay, so end of Marine turn 4. We got rid of 2 units of jet bikes right there. Everything else, however, wasn't quite effective. We did take 2 wounds off of the Wraith Knight from the grab fire of that unit right there that just came out. Your missions were to kill a unit and secure objective 2. I have to secure objective 1 and 2, so we will come back at the end of Eldar turn 4. Alright, so I was able to clear off the immovable Space Marines because she won't fail an armor save off of this objective, claim my 1. Khan is also dead, so that's an extra victory point there. We'll slay the Warlord. Now, the other objective is hiding right under that Razorback, so I've got a turn to try and deal with that. Over here, I was able to kick off these Marines. Didn't need to charge, but it happened regardless. Okay, so we're moving on to Space Marine turn 5. We're going to roll new points. So we finished at the bottom of turn 5. We did Jess's and mine real quick, because Jess had very few models. She did a little bit of shooting. But in the end, I was able to overpower the unit in the corner there. And we have 2 drop pods and a Storm Talon left. So it will win for the Eldar, and we'll move on to game 2. Alright, we're here for game 2. I'm against Adrian and Adrian's War Convocation. So we've got the Imperial Knight here with the what's it called? Onager, the Doomcrawler, there we go. We've got the obligatory fast-moving guy there. Tech Priest Dominus sitting on the top with, we've already done infiltration and scout move, so he's sitting on the Relic there. So Relic are those objectives, and then Modified Maelstrom are those 2 objectives right there. I've deployed a unit of Warp Spiders, a unit of Warp Spiders, and then 4 units of jet bikes, and then of course, good old Wraith Knight on the top. So, Adrian's gonna be going first, and we've got some drop pods to come in, so we'll come back at the end of his turn 1. Okay, so end of the War Convocation turn 1. He dropped a lot of things down, fired a lot of shots, but I was able to make a lot of cover saves. Warp Spiders jumped over to this side of the wall to avoid a lot of the fire from the Cataphrons, and these guys around here fired a lot of shots into the Wraith Knight, but he still stands firm. So we will come back at the end of Eldar turn 1. Okay, so end of Eldar turn 1. The Vanguard that dropped down in there got shot to pieces and then charged by the Wraith Knight. That drop pod is no longer there, but it's been glanced to death. These guys are still here, and typical Eldar trickery came over here. So at the end of that turn, I have 2 points from getting my points, and Adrian has 1 from getting line breaker, because this drop pod is still in my deployment zone, even fractionally. Those are the rules. So coming on to Adrian's turn 2. Okay, so end of the War Convocation turn 2. The Wraith Knight's on 1 wound. He fired almost everything he had at it, and I was passing a lot of feel no pain, so he's alive, but only barely. We've still got the 2 units of scouts came on from their outflank, didn't cause a wound. Again, I'm passing a lot of saves, and the Dragoon is chasing down the bikes who he beat them in close combat. Who'd have thought? All right, so I've got a metric shit ton of reserve rolls to make, and we're moving on to my turn 2. Okay, so end of Eldar turn 2. I was able to take out this shrouded unit right here, which was took a lot of my firepower. Both units of scouts fell to scatter laser fire, and my pretty much decided to take his deployment zone with my warp spiders. Didn't do anything though, because stealth shrouded, so 2 ups on pretty much everything, except for this guy who I took a whole point off of, and that guy has 2 ups, so it was pretty good. So moving on to Skitarii turn 3. Okay, so end of his turn 3, my Warlord's unit has been destroyed. Wraith Knight finally went down to concentrated grab fire, and there's a lot going on in this building when it comes to AdMech right there. So now we're going on to Eldar turn 3, and yeah, we'll come back at the end of that. Okay, so end of Eldar turn 3. A lot of shooting going on. You'll notice that the Knight is no longer there. Some Warp Spiders and the Crimson Hunters were able to take that down. This guy is passing 2 ups like it's his fucking job. The Inquisitor died from jet bike fire here as well. So we are down to our points. We're at 7-5. The point difference mostly being from the Gargantuans being killed. Right, so we're moving on to turn 5. Alright, we had to speed it up, so we ended up doing the end of the game turn 4 and game turn 5, just because we were running out of time. But all in all, very few units left running around the board. I've got some haggard warp spidered units, but I was able to grab the relic, and I was able to contest that objective, and I was able to kill the Warlord as well. And I think I got first strike as well, because you dropped down. Yeah, so we did the first strike there, and then we have table quarters too. So, fantastic game. I always hate playing against War Convocation. It's just so damn good. But that's that, and we'll move on to game 3. And this is game 3. I'm playing against John McCool and his rather cool-looking orcs. They're all knob bikers, sitting obviously inside the Void Shield generator, and this is the custom mech stomper, right? Big nasty, and he's got everything kind of just touching the Void Shield generator. I've deployed my bikes and my Wraith Knight just in the corner. We're gonna do a little bit of running away. But I've got all my Warp Spiders and my Crimson Hunters in reserve. We are playing Purge the Alien, so kill points. We also have 3 adjusted Maelstrom missions, so 1, 2, and 3 is right there, if you can see it. And John has first turn. So, have a good game, John. And let's get this underway. Alright, so end of Orky turn 1. We lost 2 units of jet bikes as they ran off the board from all the barrages from the big mech Stompa. Which did quite a fair bit. This unit also took a casualty, but didn't fall away, because those are the real Eldar men. So yeah, I guess we'll come back at the end of Eldar turn 1. Okay, so the end of Eldar turn 1, I did basically all I really could do. I ran to the 4 corners of the globe. I took down the 3 Void Shields, which he'll obviously roll to regen beginning of his turn, but this is where everything kind of moves away from it, so it did its job. We'll come back at the end of Orc turn 2. Alrighty, end of Orc turn 2. He pushed up one of his units of bikes over here to try and force the jet bike unit off. I lost 1, but passed my morale, which was lucky. These guys took a hit, passed their morale check. These guys took a hit, failed their morale check. So at the beginning of my turn, we have to see if they're still running away. They're good. So they're going to be rallying 3 inches and then snap firing. But now I've got all my reserves to come in. So we will see you at the end of Eldar turn 2. Alright, so that's the end of Eldar turn 2. Warp Spiders all came in, Crimson Hunters came in. I took down the Void Shield, the one that regenerated, and I took down the 5 that are on the big guy. So hopefully I can do a little bit of work on that. Bikes are all spread out. I killed the unit that was right there, and I took a couple. You don't have to take a leadership check on them. No, actually you did, because you lost a guy from dangerous terrain, maybe?
I just lost a guy from shooting, so I got to take him.
All right, so he's gonna take a morale check, and we'll come back at the end of Orc turn 3. Alrighty, that was the end of Orc turn 3. He got into close combat, killed one of the units there. I jumped on the objective to try and prevent it. I'm not sure if I did an end of turn for me last time. Oh well. Both Crimson Hunters are now technically dead. I've just got a couple of things hiding around in corners. Not looking good for me, but that's okay. You win some, lose some. So we'll go on to my turn 3, and yeah, we'll come back then. All right, so end of Eldar turn 3. I put a lot of shots into these guys. They're down to 2 wounds there. These guys are now running away, and I was able to try and steal that objective as well, just to make sure we don't get it. But with coming down pretty close, there's a lot of thin units on the ground here, literally beating the shit out of each other. So we will come back at the end of Orc turn 4. Okay, so end of Orc turn 4. The combat, he charged in here, managed to survive. Those guys are also falling back, so maybe there's a kill point there. Failed my hit and run here, so that's a little shitty on my part. And then these guys are all kind of moving around, and I also managed to flick a jump out of the range of all of his shooting. So we'll go on to my turn 4. All right, end of Eldar turn 4. It's getting down to the nitty gritty. Wraith Knight won this combat, and then this combat still rages on. I decided not to try and hit and run, and I've just got a few units just on the outside. He's got his Stomper, and he's got that bike unit left. So let's see the end of turn 5. So I have just finished my game with Mr. McCool. We ended in an absolute tie. He won on kill points simply because he didn't have enough and I had way too many. I won on secondary from Maelstrom objectives, and then we tied the tertiary. So absolute tie. You know what? I'm okay with that. I'm totally okay with that because it was a fucking awesome game. Thank you again once more, and we'll see you tomorrow for game 4.
Thank you.